Hey Scott, how you doing? Thank you for including your work to our critique board, and also thank you for this written rationale describing your experience with the assignment. This is great. I got a few questions here, and I will try to address all of these questions. Let me go through the critique first, and then we'll come back and we'll address these questions. So I think the main thing that I see when I see this ad is, let me just reduce that a little bit so we can get that in the screen. Okay, I think the background image is really muddy. And by that I mean it's kind of lacking detail. It's super grainy, and I just don't think it's the best quality image. And I'm going to show you something. I'm going to zoom in right here, just so we can see this is a good image. This is your masked image that you've used, and that's a pretty good image. But this background image, as we can see, it's really super grainy and really almost muddy in its appearance. When I say muddy, I mean that the colors are kind of running together. There's no real contrast here, indicating color changes, indicating tonal ranges, or some of the other areas of transition in this background image. I would recommend maybe using a different background image, something a little bit higher quality, something maybe not quite so muddy that it employs a little bit more intense contrast. And this is by no means any fault of your own. It's just the quality of the image itself. Okay, as far as the basic layout goes, I think there's a few things that we can do that right now I think the eye moves around the page too much. Okay, so here's the logo, lower right-hand corner, right? So we're going to start right here with the headline. First of all, the viewer comes in, takes a look at the image, takes a look at the logo, right? Then we come up here. Now watch, so we look here first, and we look down here, then the eye is drawn up here, then over here, then over here. So we're really kind of zigzagging around the page, and we can eliminate that kind of saccadic. Those are called saccadic eye movements. And you really want to reduce the number of saccadic eye movements associated in any visual composition, because it's going to be more comfortable for the viewer not to have to keep jumping around the composition. So what I would recommend here is this, a tropical vacation. This is good, but that's called a widow. You don't ever want to have a word on a line alone. We see one here, and we see one here. So what I would increase this type size right here for the headline to drop that second word down to the second line here. So watch my cursor. So what we're going to do is just we're going to leave the placement the same, increase the size of that headline. Okay. At that point, I would add a subhead. This is kind of a subhead, but I would change the verbiage for this because basically it's the exact same thing as this. This says a tropical vacation destination for the entire family. This says Amethyst Bay and Spa has a fun for the whole family. So I would say that, so you have headline and then subhead, I would say, check out our family friendly specials or something like that. So you have headline, subhead, then you can go ahead and get that left align. Then we're going to bring that left margin down, and we're going to just assemble that body copy right here. And explain, don't worry about covering the tree. That's fine. So it would go like this, right? The paragraph. I wouldn't bold anything in the paragraph. Just keep that one, the same weight for that entire text selection there. At that point, since you've got the people on the right-hand side of the composition, I would take this logo, and I would actually use the other logo. Let me show you which one I'm talking about. I would use the main logo. This one right here. I would use this logo. I think it will really fit beautifully down here and create a new area of color. Right now, I think this is a little visual weighty, a little heavy for the placement there. Plus, it's also covering about maybe a good eighth of the image, maybe more. You don't want to cover that image that you work so hard to mask, right? So I would reduce the size of the logo and place it underneath the family. Really reduce the size, something like that. And then make sure the address is in alignment with the bottom of the logo. Make sure those baselines align. So basically what you'll have is this configuration where everything is in left alignment. You have headline, except you don't have to align the address with that left margin. So I would pull that in, watch my cursor, some of the alignment right about there or so. You can actually even pull this in out of alignment. So your headline and subhead are both aligned. And then this can get pulled in a little bit and place it right there. And I really think that's going to improve the page mechanics. And consider a different background image. Right now, my concern about this image is I'm not sure it's going to be the most appropriate and suitable image for your student portfolio when that time comes. I know that if I were to look at this piece, my first question to the designer would be, what why is the background image so muddy and lacking in contrast? Was there a reason for that? And if there is, by all means, share that reasoning. But if there's not, that points to the fact that you could have used a more effective image for the background. Again, it's your call, it's your choice. So let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. I'll be glad to clarify anything I've covered in this critique. Let's go ahead and jump over to your questions. I promised we would address those. Used Arial, call to actions are highlighted in bold. No, I don't think you need to do that. I wasn't sure if we were supposed to make a separate graphic for the call to action. No necessary. No requirements to make a separate graphic for the call to action. I have other images that I would like to implement in the ad. Where should I place them? Should I change the color of the text? I think the text advances a little bit in the composition. I would say instead of bright white, just add a touch of gray to the bright white text, or even try the purple text to see how that looks. I think that the purple text might look great, especially for the headline and the subhead, and then you can just keep that at white. That'll add some nice contrast and variety to the typography of the page. Place the images. I don't know where the other images should be placed. I would have to see them. I can't really say, okay, one image should go here or another image should go here. We really need to look at those images. I don't think you need additional images. I think that the simplicity of the ad speaks for itself. Other images. Should I change the color of the text? Place company logo on the bottom right-hand corner. Should go to the left. There you go. Yeah, okay, so I think we got all your questions. So those are my recommendations, but be sure to let me know if you have any questions or if I need to clarify anything that I've mentioned. All right, great start. Thank you very much.